on my flow. Or if you like it, go and bump it till your dubs fry. Follow Mad Matt and Odd Sauce, like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video.
Did y'all catch that? Y'all didn't peep the play, did you? Pay attention to this. They're continuing the wall being built across all along the borders, right? And they're letting migrants in by the thousands, the tens of thousands, to the point where the mayor of New York has said the city will collapse. But they're continuing to build the wall. Now, why would a government that was so much against the wall, be building the wall and simultaneously allowing tens of thousands of migrants to enter the country illegally? You still don't get it? The wall is being built so that when they come in, no one can escape. They are cutting off all access to any escape routes from this country. Ladies and gentlemen, they're not building the wall to prevent migrants from coming into this country. They're building the wall to prevent anyone from leaving.
One of the best ways to find out about this spirit thing is you have to start recounting mystical things that have happened in your life. So what you have to do is to get a notebook and start writing down little things. And if you can remember, a lot of times the spirit won't let you remember until you get a notebook so that you can, until you write it down. And if you can remember, you can amass a whole spirit world around you. So when things start to happen spiritually, you would automatically know it. You automatically know it. One thing that how you do it is you have to start having confidence in your thoughts. A lot of times stuff will start coming to you and you'll just think that you're thinking crazy. This can't be because I'm thinking of it. But it's not that you're actually having a transmission. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of the times why we don't get to the God level is because we don't have confidence in our own ability.
Great at kidnapping someone, turning them into putting them in a dead celebrity's body and screwing the life out of them after he makes a ton of money off of their ass on his private little beach. So you have a private little beach full of celebrities and bodies getting screwed, and nobody cares because they're supposed to be dead. And this has been a major market that he tried to blame on Oprah Winfrey. So, yeah, that's what I feel about that.
Did some people get arrested for that right there?
The people at the hotel. Everybody was paying attention to the submarine and everything else that's going on in the news. Yeah. Every hotel that you go to when you go out of town, all the big name A-list ones, they all getting sued right now for trafficking kids. People finding floorboards with holes cut into tunnels, finding kids. So the reason why they found out somebody was at the Hilton. I think they was, I don't know what actual state, but they was at the Hilton. So they was wondering, like, she was trying to hang her coat up and her coat fell. But when it fell, it was like a little wire hooked on the coat. So she like, what the fuck? Come to find out it's a camera. So now she got to search in the room. They got little apps you can use on your phone to detect if it's cameras and all kind of shit. So she did that, found like 2 more, one in a little screw. She got to moving the furniture. One of the floorboards had like one of the pieces like cut out different from the shape of the whole design of the floor. When she pulled it up, her dude like, look, he put the camera down there and it's like a whole little walkway you could jump down and walk through to air connected to every room. So he jumped down, he walked all the way through and ended up finding some kids.
Did some people get arrested for that right there?
The people at the hotel, yeah, they got arrested for it. So they start going to all the hotels throughout the whole United States and start finding that they be involved basically like housing the sex trafficking shit. So when the people come with your kids and your kids in the midst like trying to find them, they didn't already got them. So it's like that shit crazy. So
that's wild shit. That's good that the kids is not deceased though.
You see how we ain't pooped in days? Some of us ain't pooped in weeks. What about if your cells ain't pooped in weeks? What about if your cells ain't pooped in months? And this is what I'm telling y'all. 90% of your issues is this right here. Half of your diseases is because you're constipated. And when you're constipated, mucus builds up. What mucus does is suffocates the cells and deprive the cells of oxygen. Now the mitochondria, remember that acts as the lungs or the respiratory system of the cells, can't breathe. This is what you call apoptosis or cellular mitosis, what they call cellular death. And when your cells start to die and they can't repopulate because the Golgi apparatus, which acts as the birth canal of the cells, is blocked up and you can't birth new cells, then what are you going to replenish your cells with? That's how people die. It's called cellular deterioration. Organs will start to deteriorate in the body and you get sickness and disease. You go to the doctor because the body is trying to heal itself. They're going to say the symptom. Then they get the symptom. They call the symptom after their name, which is a disease that give you form of and you never get better from it.
The disease is a rare mosquito-borne illness known as Eastern Equine Encephalitis.
Y'all want to know why the government is now trying to target people with mosquitoes? Yeah, may not seem like a big deal, but mosquitoes are vicious, and let me tell y'all why. For those of you who do not know, whenever you get bit by a mosquito, it is typically not a male mosquito. Male mosquitoes it's not their delicacy to feed on human blood. Male mosquitoes typically feed off of plants, like nectar from flowers. They are not really interested in human blood. Now, when you get bit the fuck up by a bunch of mosquitoes, the crazy part about it is it's mostly the female mosquitoes that's attacking you. Mosquitoes need human blood. They need it. If they cannot get access to human blood, they will not exist. They'll be dead. They'll be wiped out. They need human blood because human blood provides mosquitoes iron, proteins, and amino acids that they cannot get from any other source besides human blood. Female mosquitoes are also typically the ones that bite you because they cannot lay their eggs without your blood. So after they mate with the male mosquitoes, if they cannot get access to your blood, they cannot lay their eggs. They need human blood to lay their eggs. And disgusting, right? I know. They don't have really a favorite type of delicacy when it comes to human blood, but if you are an old blood type or a pregnant person or a person that sweats a lot, they could smell your pheromones before they bite you. They could even smell your blood type before they bite you. And if you have old blood type or anything like that, it's delicious to them. So it kind of makes sense why they would use mosquitoes to spread a disease and a virus, because they know that mosquitoes cannot survive without human blood. Mosquitoes will really attack anyone. Female mosquitoes will attack anyone. They need your blood. So when they attack you and they bite you and they get your blood, they're going back laying their babies, and you probably caught the virus if this mosquito had this virus or this disease. Pretty fucking disgusting, right? Yeah, I know. So y'all be fucking careful with this Triple E shit, because they know exactly what they're fucking doing. They know that mosquitoes cannot survive without human blood supply. Fucking vampire eating fucking insect things. Be careful, y'all. And if you have a mosquito on you and it doesn't bite you, it's a male mosquito. Male mosquitoes do not typically bite humans. They do not really need your blood supply. Females, on the other hand, will tear your ass up.
Niggerato? What? On my days. Now the oldest inhabitants of the Philippines are the Niggerato. They are pre-Austronesian people who migrated from mainland Asia around 90,000 years ago. To all my Filipinos, when I say we're brothers and sisters, I mean we're brothers and sisters. Now, do Filipinos have Niggerato ancestry? They assimilated the older Niggerato groups which arrived during the Paleolithic, resulting in the modern Filipino. Niggerato? And this is a picture of a Niggerato tribe, and on the right it says Niggeratos, the original Filipino and American. Now that's what I call a native Indian.
They don't want you to know. if her blood type is O negative. And Lisa didn't understand because she doesn't speak English, so I said to Lisa, I said, what's your blood type? And she answered me O negative. And so the woman Sarah says, I knew that. And in my research, and this is something that I can say with a lot of caution, because I don't like, I do believe that there's maybe a link, but we don't know enough about that yet. But one thing is for sure is that Lisa's mother is O negative, Lisa is O negative, Lisa's daughter is O negative. The people that were, a lot of people that I work with that are abductees or experiencers are O negative. It is very strange that there's this O negative connotation as well. And this is something that they have talked about. Is that the universal donor? Yes, that's the universal donor. And I had a conversation with a very good friend of mine who's a physician, he's a doctor. He's a professor of medicine at McGill and also a very well-known doctor in Montreal. And I had a conversation with him, and he knows I do this work, but doesn't associate with me publicly because of his work. And he associates with me as a friend, but not when it comes to the alien research. And I asked him, I said, is it possible that there is something out of the ordinary with O negative blood types? And he said, no. I said, well, is it true that a woman who is impregnated, a woman who is O negative, who is impregnated by a man who is not O negative, needs a vaccine? And he said, it's more complex than that, but yes. And I said, and what if she doesn't get the vaccine? And he said, it's more complex than that, but likelihood is the baby won't be born. It will die. And I did not know that. And so a woman who is an O negative and is impregnated by a man who is not O negative has a very high risk of losing the baby. And that's very interesting. And again, from a scientific standpoint, it's more complex than that. And we should not jump to conclusions. And the fact that there are a lot of O-negative people that have had these experiences should also not be a sign to jump to a conclusion. But I do think it's interesting.
Look! You need to get the boys! Did the kids come out to look?
Yeah, like how did that?
Did you see it though when it was over here? It looked so crazy. It looked like it's on fire.
Here.
I don't think that's it. That's not coming from my head.
When will this planet come back?
It's here.
It's already in the area.
Oh yes, right now it's in conjunction. It is behind the sun. It's coming up. It came up in the direction towards the sun's, say, 7:30 position.
Okay.
Now, when it comes out from behind, it'll be around the 1:30 position. And
will we be able to see it then?
Yeah. And when we see it, if you're not prepared, I mean, frankly, when we do see it, people are going to be standing out in the street. They're going to be pointing up at the sky.
You'll be able to see it like that?
Oh, yeah. You're going to see it. It's a melancholia scenario. Jeez. It's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger because this thing is going to come around from behind the sun and cross over our orbit above us and ahead of us. And, you know, there's a gentleman, Bob Dean, government whistleblower. He's one of my heroes. I mean, I just love this guy.
Yeah, good guy.
And I think in 2008 on Project Camelot,
He made a prediction. He said, according to my sources, it is going to, when we are going to be on the same side of the sun as the Planet X system when it goes into its aphelion leg. That's when it's going back south.
Okay.
And that is when it's really going to be jamming, you know.
And jamming meaning doing
fast.
things to us?
To the sun, to us. First off, let me just explain the Planet X system.
Okay.
Nemesis is the dark star, all right? And it hasn't been visible for a very long time to the naked eye because it's shrouded in iron oxide dust.
Okay.
This is from its creation.
And where would that be now, that binary star?
That binary star is beyond the orbit of Jupiter, behind our sun.
And that's why we can't see it.
We can't see it. Now, interestingly enough, there are 3 planets that we talk about in our book. There could be more, but we're only talking about the major bodies that are going to present a problem for Earth.
All right.
And be involved in the pole shift event.
Okay.
Now, these planets are, the innermost one is Helion. And Helion is a gaseous, bright planet. It's uninhabited.
This is traveling with
Nemesis
Nibiru or whatever.
Well, Nibiru is the 3rd planet out.
That's the one where the Anunnaki apparently came
That's
from.
right.
Okay.
There's Nemesis, the star.
Right.
Helion. Arbota. Nibiru. Helion has a moon, which we named Harrington in name of this astronomer. Okay. And we have a moon for Nibiru, which we named Farada.
They only have like 1 moon each?
That's right. These 2 planets. Arbota does not have a moon. Arbota is inhabited by a slave species.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all playing, but Jordan Peele been trying to tell us to get the fuck out the U.S. ASAP.
They have officially stated a warning saying it is no longer safe to swim in any of the beaches here inside of the United States.
I'm telling y'all this because I care about y'all. I have a cousin that works in the Pentagon, and she told me, right, that a lot of these foods, you're going to see an uptick in illnesses caused by these foods, so don't eat them anymore, okay?
Killed your ancestors to get them to believe this shit, right? You do know your ancestors was killed to believe this shit, right? And here you go, 200 years later, worshiping these same white motherfucking gods freely, nigga. That they died for. Your ancestors died, so fighting, hoping these motherfuckers don't take over with this bullshit, nigga. Now here we go, 200 years later, we believe in every motherfucking thing but us, nigga. Motherfuckers believe in Jesus, Buddha, Virgin Mary, Allah. Motherfuckers believe in goddamn it Fendi, Gap. Motherfucker, we believe in goddamn it artists. Niggas believe in the Lakers winning the championship more than they believe in a motherfucking self, nigga. Niggas like, I know LeBron gonna win this year. Nigga bet his whole life savings on LeBron winning. But won't even bet that shit on himself to start his own company. Come on, family. You hear me? So yeah, when you talking about, and yeah, I say it again, a nigga will take his life savings and bet on a sports game, go get a car with some rims, nigga go make 1,000 OnlyFans subscriptions, nigga. Yearly plans too. All the top bad models he like, he got the $80 joint, nigga, $100 lick, the yearly, nigga. Believing in her. And I'm not knocking her. Because goddesses do it too. You been and bought this nigga everything. See what I'm saying? You over there believing in this religion. You believing in this Mac. You got faith in Mac, don't you? Goddess wake up like, I don't give a fuck how I look. I know I put this Mac on, a bitch gonna be that chick. You got faith in Mac. You believe in the foundation more than you believe in you. Let me go put these heels on. I know I'm gonna get these niggas. You believing in the heels. You got more faith in the heels, in the dress, in the weave than the core of you. You don't need none of that shit. You a goddess. And if you got feminine energy, you a supreme god, for you created the gods. You're the mother of the gods. And we the motherfucking gods, nigga. And before they came, that's how we was rocking. And then they bitch ass came, they bitch ass landed and made us get on our knees, close our eyes, and pray to they white gods, nigga. And now we ain't got shit but violence amongst each other and separation, man. Don't talk to me about what's real. Don't get in this university telling me you ain't no God. You feel me? We
behind the fires in Hawaii, your third eye must be calcified. I think they want to gentrify all the black and poor people out of Hawaii. So they're going to burn them out. That's what you call microwave gentrification. They purging black Chicago and black New York with migrants, but they're purging black Hawaii with the forest fire. They purging black Philadelphia with real estate tax hikes. Dwayne Wade and Oprah, I don't have a problem with them helping out with the government fire in Maui. But I got a question for Dwayne Wade and Oprah. If you can spend all that money to put out the fire in Maui, why don't you spend some money to put out the miseducation fire in the ghettos of black America? Spend some of that money to put out the gentrification fires in the ghetto of black America. Take some of that money and build some institutions in black America. I'm tired of celebrities doing more with their money outside of the community than what they do inside of the community. Scholarships don't mean nothing. We need businesses and capital. If you have
So how many people thought that this blue umbrella, these Tommy Bahama umbrellas, did you know that's all they are? It's just regular old Tommy Bahama. But these blue umbrellas aren't the most shocking discovery of blue items that weren't burnt in the fire. Yeah, there's one way more obvious, way more suspect, and it makes a lot of sense why this is happening.
So this is the only Wi-Fi truck in all of the Napili Shopping Center.
Damn.
The third biggest hub on the west side, now that Lahaina is gone. The most people here, and this is the Wi-Fi. Why do they not want you to communicate with the rest of the world on the west side of Maui right now?
I'll tell you why, because of people like Captain Chris exposing that why are the supply lines blockaded. He has to go by boat with his local Kanakas and the local Hawaiians, exposing government blocking supply lines. That's just one thing. Maybe it's because of this gentleman who exposed he was on the highway driving and the cops routed him into Front Street and then blocked all the streets behind him. And you know what he had to do? Turn around, because there was no getting out of it. He had to drive around the cops illegally. They didn't want him to. They were trying to route him back into that crap, but this gentleman said in my previous videos, they blocked every street. Boom, boom, boom. Weird. He broke loose, went around them, and they chased him to his house. He didn't think nothing of it. He doesn't realize yet. It hasn't dawned on him yet what they did. But he knows that they corralled the people. He states it. They corralled the people. He just believes because people are good-hearted that this is just orders that's accidental. Does it seem accidental to you people out there? Well, it gets way worse. Watch this one. Look at this. A shirt store. Watch.
I see a shirt survived.
Many shirts, all blue, with the price tags on them still.
Survives a fire like that, I wonder. A shirt that says Sister Revolution. Hard to believe, huh? The whole building goes down. The whole street goes down, and then these shirts survive somehow. The Sister Revolution. A lot of them, actually. It's crazy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna auction these shirts off. The last surviving apparel from Maui. These are gonna go auctioned.
Here's what you should do with those shirts. Keep them for evidence. You're gonna need it. You need a forensic audit going on. Why? This is why.
What if there's more to it? Let's delve into the science of lasers.
or as they're ominously termed, dews. Why? Because there's something interesting about a specific shade of blue in these energy beams. Here's the science. Certain energy rays interact differently with various colors on the spectrum. Some colors are more resistant or reflective, protecting underlying materials from harm. Remember those untouched umbrellas amidst the Lahaina devastation? Skyscraping trees untouched by disaster can be explained away. But how do you justify these seemingly invincible umbrellas?
Not the umbrellas, the shirts. With a building imploded on itself, look at it, there's nothing left, but there's blue shirts. Their tags are left because they were in between the shirts, obviously, right? I mean, who doesn't have the chills running up their spine right now from seeing these shirts come out of a flattened structure? Blue shirts. Just look at everything. Just put all the pieces together. I just want you to know that you owe this to yourself to see the truth. Because if you turn a blind eye when truth is slapping you in the face, then you are consenting to what they're doing to these people. And the biggest truth of all is that there's no more fence to straddle. It's done. Because next time it's your town. And next time it's your child. And next time it's your business. And next time it's your community that's lost. So it is up to you, because nobody can exercise your free will. Nobody can align with the truth but you. Nobody can spread the message that you can, because you are placed here right now for this very time, for this very purpose, to stand up. You feel it in your heart, don't you? Everybody does. I know everybody does, because you can feel it in the air. Everybody knows something's wrong. It's going on worldwide, these fires. And how can anyone explain this? There's nothing that can explain these blue shirts in a collapsed, imploded, totally destroyed building. Let's look at the building as we're walking back up. So this is the building. There ain't nothing left. There are the shirts right there. How is it possible? It's not just this. It's not just the umbrellas. Things that didn't burn. This guy's account right here is now being stalked and harassed. I wonder by who? All for his drone footage. Did you know that? The gentleman putting out all this drone footage is now being stalked, harassed, is in fear for his safety, for his family. Not for himself. He wants to speak the truth. He knows what it is. He knows it's dangerous, but he's doing it anyways. But look at that. Unscathed. Or that. How is that possible? Everybody knows this blue car. You know that blue car? People kept saying to me, that car was drove there. It wasn't drove there. That car ended there. Oh, look, there's one more blue car over there. But I'm gonna have to say that these blue t-shirts, amongst this rubble from this shirt store, clearly because it has brand new tags on it, so that was someone's store. Now, those are the most obvious thing I've ever seen. It got the umbrella smoked out because it was literally in the rubble. Parts of it were smoking, but majority of the shirts were just fine. How is that possible? How is it possible? How do we, as a people, right? We have this brain. God gave us this brain. It has a responsibility. The responsibility is what? To exercise your rights. That's what your responsibility is. Because anything else is consenting to what's playing around you. Maybe we've been indoctrinated to listen, to follow orders like we're seeing all over the place. Have you seen all the order following that people are just like, I'm only following orders? It makes a lot of sense how a lot of tragedies and genocides have happened over the, history. Look at this one. This is in Canada.
Definitely
Canada.
A problem. I am feeding the whole town right now.
I've been ordered not to let anyone cross the bridge, so you can go through CSRD and see if they'll let you through, but right now you're not allowed to cross the bridge.
The spot fires aren't on my property, but the 100 acres of bush. That's where the liability issue comes in. That's when you can't be out.
I also just want to know, so if I walk across right now,
You can't.
so I'm going to be arrested if I go across that bridge? So who just told me that I can walk? So I'm literally cannot get over there. Why are we wasting these resources right now on this?
That's just the way it is. It happened and nobody's allowed to cross the bridge.
Okay, what has happened exactly? And so you were instructed to stop everyone who comes across this bridge?
Correct.
And so for what reason?
I was given an order and I'm following that order.
Okay, what is the order exactly?
To not let anyone across the bridge.
Is that your official position? The bush that behind where if there is a fire that happens and it comes straight to my place, like you don't understand, save your house, but when that bush is behind and I can run out there with a shovel and buckets of water and put out 30 spot fires in a day, when I
save that old lady's house,
I can save 10
she's
people's
gonna burn down
and possibly be in the way of wildfires or other firefighting opportunities.
There is nobody out here besides that.
At least they had some water to fight. So I'm sure he's going to say, hey, I'm just following orders. Well, I have something to tell you. We the people, we'd like to follow you too. At least in prison for a lifetime sentence. That's the least you deserve. A lot of people may think, oh, this is all coincidence. Except it ain't. Except it led to so much loss of life, following orders, it caused death, or violate people's rights like you're seeing in Canada, or here right now. It's here right now too. In Maui, they're giving out permission slips just to travel from different parts of the island. And I'm not talking about Lahaina, this is just any town. If you're gonna travel in Maui, you need a permission slip now, and people are lining up. You don't have to, guys. Maybe it's just, everybody has to figure out what's going on, go through this as an experience, but I'm telling you, this is a violation of your rights. No different than them not letting you put your house out. No different than it is your right to have water to fend for fires. They can't just turn off the water. If they do, they only get away with it if we do nothing.
We were fighting. We felt like we were winning. We were keeping it at bay, keeping it off of the properties. The water shut off. Even the firemen that were patrolling couldn't refill their trucks.
The president, within 6 hours, met our needs with the federal movement. 6 hours. I don't think that's ever happened.
Well, let's get right into this. Everybody who wants to know the truth, here you go. Type this in, Governor Josh Green, Agenda 2030. Want to know how they can implement this worldwide? Want to know how they can implement this worldwide? Want to know how they can turn off the water in Canada in some locations and also turn the water off in Maui in some locations? How is all this possible? Let me show you. Governor Green goes to United Nations to talk about Hawaii. Oh, except he was the keynote speaker for this right here, Agenda 2030. You know, the one where you'll own nothing and be happy? The government just needs to tax you for climate change, even though they can't solve world hunger? Read the article. Invest into yourself. The speakers who were invited to help implement the United Nations Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals in 2030. He was the keynote speaker, Governor Josh Green. And isn't he acting like one? Yes, he is. It's happening right now in real time. And what are you going to do about it is the real question. Nothing changes until we the people stand together, united, not divided. This is what brings change. It is by you and me, and we the people. If you have a soul, I'm talking to you.
Well, you don't need a book. I'm talking to you. You at home right now watching me. God, goddess. Remember, this is the secret to us, y'all. You don't need a book. That's how gifted you is. You don't need a book. You just simply need to go within yourself. That's how powerful you are. You don't need no book. You need nobody to tell you none of this. Just sit with yourself and it will self-reveal it to you. That's how powerful you is. They want you to think. They want you to think. Remember though, because remember, they use that to make us go to their program centers. Oh, you need to be educated. You need to get in book. Get in the books. Stay in the books. Keep your head in the books. Keep your head in the lies. No, books are used to further stimulate you, further pull out of your soul what it already knows. And they gotta be the right book. These type of books are good reads, you know what I'm saying? The shit they gave us in school, yeah. But it's still good to read it so you can see how much they lied, though. You see what I'm saying? Like Wikipedia, Google, they'll give you smidges of truth. They be lying. DuckDuckGo will give you a little bit more, but they still controlled by them. So if you want the raw, you got to go in here. Niggas will go everywhere else. Niggas scared to go in there, though. Go up in there, sit in that darkness. Yeah. And it'll be revealed to you. That's a fact, man.
Joseph, what they be doing at the school?
They give me all. They just give me dresses. I wear pants. I'm a man. So after they do that, they just give me dresses
And all other kids, do all the other kids be putting on the dresses too?
Yeah. All of them in the world. Kaylee, Kylie, everyone.
What they do? What you say that do to your mind?
It messing my mind up.
Because they doing what?
Put a dresses on. So I wear a man. I could fireman truck on. I'll be a police. That's everything I got.
That's right, son. What I teach you in the home? To be a man, right?
Yeah, you be a man. So you have to do stuff you want to do to give me a man.
Right. So when I dress you, do I dress you like a boy?
Yeah. You see?
And then they hand you a what?
A dress.
I said that's wrong, right?
Yeah. I gotta teach those kids how to play me. Cause they don't play.
Right. I love you, sir.
I love you. So, can you teach me how to play me? Cause I'm not helping them.
You gonna help them?
Yeah. As being a police officer, you can't help people. You just try to help people to text.
To dress?
Yes. The government, if they give me a dress, they'll play me. They'll play me. I'm very serious.
Love you, son. You're gonna be alright.